In fact, Jim can probably see his plane land over the compound.
That is very true. Maybe you should. You're closer.
All right.
We'll figure it out. Whoever has peace duties.
First of all, where is our regular music?
Yeah, what is this?
It's playoffs. It's final.
Oh, yeah, we move it up. We get intensity over here.
No,
All right.
I like our usual stuff.
All right, welcome to Calling Audible. Jam's like, what the hell's going on here? A very relaxed show. It is finals week. It's upon us as we finally, enough of the jargon we've been seeing for the first 13 weeks. We finally get the best teams playing every final that we have from Div A right down to Co-Ed, which we'll preview throughout this evening of podcast. We'll have no Peasy as he'll be landing at Trudeau Airport, and the chauffeurs, either GM or Simon, will be picking him up.
Who's Peas?
Exactly. Simon Dagenet, Peasy Delree's not here, but GM is in that seat. And Eagle and the far, far left of me. Gentlemen, it's here. A general reaction. Jim, you're going to be playing in the Div B final, which we'll talk about later on today. But just a general reaction before we dive into the E portion of this segment here, guys. I'll start with you, Jim. As a player and as an analyst, what are those feelings like as we're about a few days away from
I guess I'll start as an analyst rather than a player first. As an analyst, it's a lot of fun to see everything that's come to this point. Alex showed us off air the picks that we made for last week's games, and Simone and I are both over 75% for the past 2 weeks consecutively. It's pretty cool to be able to do that. It's nice seeing the teams like have these elegant playoff runs, whether it's steamrolling the competition or just squeezing out wins. Especially in divisions where you see familiar faces again in the finals, like Division C with Jagerbomb and the Alphatees. Very, very exciting. As a player, playing in the finals, there's very little like it. The way that this league is covered, the finals are something that really, really differentiates from everything else out there. The feeling when you walk into Brossard, the vibe, the crowd, the live play-by-play, the ability to challenge in the game. Like it's really, really different, and it never loses its luster.
All right, Simone, as we dive into Div E, talk about your experiences, because a lot of these Div E teams, there are some returning teams that have experience. But for those who are in this foreign territory for the first time, from your perspective, what can they expect from this finals weekend on Sunday and Monday?
Well, so we'll cover Division D mostly, Division E mostly. There's a lot of people in the crowd. It's almost intimidating at sometimes, where there's more people than we expect there to be. A lot of friends, family, other players that show up to see the games.
Yeah, usually it's the loudest of games.
Yeah,
lower divisions are always
the lower divisions are always very
ones,
roady. If anything, there's a lot of parents, a lot of friends, a lot of cousins, brothers, whatever. And then I love to see other players from the same division come in just to see the game, to see what it came up to. So just that itself is a bit intimidating. The vibe, like Jem described earlier, it's special, it's unique. We try to make it like a package deal sort of thing. Division E, there's one that's the first game on Monday. The second one's the last game on Monday. So you'll be able to see the big difference between the two, where the first game, you see, like, even us, we have a bit of the jitters. It's the first show. We're trying to get there. The last one is like a well-oiled machine. We're ready to go. The referees are also, we have 3 or 4 referees per game. That's also different.
At that point, Eagle has stopped yelling at everyone.
Nah,
yeah.
It
Guys!
get worse.
That doesn't happen.
Guys!
The stopping yelling.
Leo! Don't start the game! Replay's not working!
What the fuck are you doing?
Guys! Stop it!
Who told you to do that?
Guys, just going on the field. It doesn't matter! Don't start the game!
Restart the game. The whole game.
We haven't done anything yet, Eagle. Doesn't matter! Doesn't matter! All right. Okay, so let's dive into it, guys. The week that was, recap semifinal Monday, as we have our the 2 finalists per Division E1, E2 playoffs here.
Exciting games.
There were plenty of games, but we'll recap Mondays here. Glow Gang over 1 Speed Power by 8. The U easily defeat the Ranchers 34-20. Ducks upend Loyola's Finest 26-20. Many thought Loyola's Finest would have been the favorite in that football game. And ECW with a close one over East Side 29-26. Gents, I'll start with you guys. GM first. Out of the 4 games, what caught your attention in terms of the outcome?
All the outcomes, to be honest. I was really surprised that it was that close for ECW and A-Side. I had actually picked A-Side in the upset, and they were very, very close to pulling that off, but fell a little bit short. And now Sea Living is going to be back in for the finals, so that's going to be an interesting storyline to follow. the U over Rancers, that's one we saw coming. It's a team you've been very fond of throughout the season as
Yep.
well, Mo. So and it's familiar faces as well. So it's nice to see the U as a name in the finals again, even though it's not entirely the same team. Glow Gang to be expected, as unfortunate as it was that the clock ran midnight for.
You mean fortunate, because
No,
otherwise we wouldn't have Eagle nor Peas for the finals.
Yeah, we would have really
And that
screwed
would've
it.
been
GM would have been doing like the production. Guys, this is the value I can give you.
You know
Blank
what?
screen.
I would do
Only
that.
Monday night.
Yeah, and I would do that to put Eagle in the finals.
Yeah, and
Oh,
GM actually would have been playing for the Div B, so we would have
And
need to go
so
to our
it would
third
have had to
string.
be me even
It would have
better.
been you over there while I do the play, and it would have been terrible.
So like caught by
But then we would have no
Ooh.
video because you wouldn't know what you're doing.
exactly. Simon, your thoughts on the 4 games that we had? In terms of,
Well,
surprises?
I'll start by Glow Gang 1-speed power. I'm surprised by the score, the outcome not so much. I expected Glow Gang to win, but the fact that they put up 1-speed power put up 38 points is very impressive to me. Willpower played really well in that game. All around, I'm impressed by what 1-speed power was able to do this playoff run. If you look at just Willpower's numbers, he went 19 touchdowns, 1 pick in 3 games.
You know what the difference was in this for them? Alex benching himself, bringing in a ringer and Alex Noel.
Yeah, he did that again. He did
Yeah.
that against Slinkers, and
Yeah.
he did that against.
You get all of that play calling ability and,
Yeah.
and no P's.
Yep. And Peace nowhere to be a distraction for the team.
So yeah, that was surprising to me. 1-speed power, honestly, although they lost, very impressive.
Very
game.
successful season.
Yeah, successful season, impressive game, impressive outcome. I got nothing but tip my hat to 1-speed power. It was an impressive season. The U, like you said, I sort of saw it coming too. I thought the U was the best team, one of the best teams in the division. Happy to see them in the finals. Ducks. It's a nice story for Ducks to see them in the finals. Most of their guys, it's only their second season. They played winter, now they played in spring.
Yeah.
It's good to see Mathieu Demont play in the finals. Probably, I think it's his first finals ever as a quarterback and as a player. Same thing for Martin Jackson. That should be interesting. An interesting story to follow on Monday night. And ECW close out a close one against A-Side. We talked about A-Side last week, saying how they felt disrespected to be dropped down to E2.
Ducks too.
Yeah, but Ducks benefited though, right? I mean, this,
I don't know.
So did ECW.
Yeah, A-side had benefited themselves because they probably would have been one and done in E1.
Yeah,
You're
well,
welcome, A-side.
well, listen, they didn't make the finals, so
No. But
So
they
the-
got
yeah.
2 extra games out of it.
but it was close enough that it shows that they were in the right division against the right teams. If not the right division against the right teams, they made it close. I think they were happy with the fact that the game ended up that way. It wasn't like a blowout or whatever. So that was pretty good too.
Etienne Laurence Gervais, 4 TDs and an interception as well. That's stepping up big when you need him to.
Yeah.
It definitely was. I'm really impressed by the U because they've done it with 2 different, like completely different squads of
The U?
players. The U.
Yeah.
And
Different quarterback.
different quarter. Well, Evan Frank's been, like I know we talk about, Pete talks about Joy Taylor, and for those who don't know Joy Taylor, he plays in the higher divisions with 2HD, and how great of a quarterback he is. But Evan Frank, should be given his due credit for what he's done.
For sure.
I mean,
you got quarterback of the year in the division.
yeah, and look, his throws may not be blistering and Zeus God-like arm that he has, but he
It
gets
does
the job
what
done.
his team needs it to do.
Absolutely, and he's smart out there.
He almost didn't make it to this game. And on that note, congratulations on being an uncle, Evan.
Congrats.
Congrats. That's
All
pretty
right,
cool.
I have no idea how Eagle knows about that, but okay.
It's pretty cool.
I'm clairvoyant.
Some of us talk to players and do
Yeah, but
journalistic
that's
things.
kind
Or
of
UPs.
creeper that you know that he's an uncle because maybe his brother or sister had his
Sister.
brother's wife, or maybe his sister had a
Sister.
kid. That's creepy. All right,
he told me.
sure,
Or
sure,
Facebook.
sure. Well, look, we have our 4 teams now in the 2 finals. 3 are in from the E1,
fine.
1 from E2. Gents, I'll ask you this right now: which game is the one that appeals to you the most right now?
So I think as much as I like the French finals of EZW against Ducks, I think it's going to
Shocker.
be a good game, but I think the second half is going to be a bit boring because EZW is going to blow them out of the water. I don't think Ducks have the speed to contain EZW, and it's going to be it's going to be a close first half, turn into a bad second half.
or for Ducks to be successful. They need to slow down the pace of the game tremendously. And that
Yeah.
also makes for a boring game. But you know what? It's what they need to do to win.
Yeah,
It's
it
so
doesn't
bad.
matter if it's fun or not.
It's
Like,
bad you can't call challenges per play.
Yeah,
You know, like
but
after every play.
but
they
you
slow
do-
it
you
down.
do what you gotta do to win.
You lengthen that huddle. You take you wait till 5 seconds left in the play clock every play, and hope you don't turn over the ball.
So is this more on easy W for Ducks to win, for easy W to commit a lot of errors? So what I mean by that, drop balls, not converting on third and fourth downs, and pretty much stalling on offense for Ducks to have a chance to win this football game?
I don't think it's the only piece of criteria involved in whether or not Ducks will be successful. But yes, ECW struggling is a big factor. Even just like you said, like playing calmer football and marching down and hoping that ECW make the first mistake and then that starts to snowball. Like they can capitalize on that and maybe go for two when they've turned over the ball on fourth down and things like that. So everything changes after that first stop.
I think it's if you force ECW to really march the field slowly, like 7-8 passes per drive for like 5 yards every time, it puts the struggle back on ECW, and it's not what they do best. If you're able to take away the big plays, the ones that really blow the game open, like it's third down, 3rd and 10, he's able to roll out and hit somebody for 40 yards. That's when it really hurts when you're playing on defense.
Yeah, there's the possibility that Ducks can bank on Jeremy White making a mistake.
Yeah, for sure. But that's what you have to bank on, in my opinion. Because
But
they have
do the
too
Ducks
many.
have the horses to capitalize on that mistake, though?
Well, Mathieu Demont has been playing really well this season as a quarterback. The Ducks' offense is good. It's slow. It's not the most. How can I put this? Like
Flashy?
Well,
yeah.
you know, it's like a duck, right? Or is it a swan in the water? Where
It's more District 5.
District 5, right? For those who don't know, Mighty Ducks, who may not be.
For
young
those of
enough.
you who don't know the Mighty Ducks, come talk to us.
Yes.
I don't. I was gonna say turn off your computer.
Can
but-
you,
Or
Eagle,
watch
can you
the
get a
movie.
clip of the Mighty Ducks movie on the screen for us, please? Thank you. Carry on, Simon.
Yeah, it might not be
20 seconds of fair use.
the flashiest, most fun to watch offense, but it works. It's slow. I think what Mathieu Demont was able to do as a quarterback is gonna work in this. Works in this division is gonna work in this final, but he needs to stick to what works for him. Run if you have to. Don't take any weird. Don't make any weird throws. Don't go out of.
But he's due to do that, though. He's going to make that.
He always does that. Like he always tries something that doesn't necessarily work, or a new play that he just thought of, or tries to do something fancy, doesn't work out. As long as he sticks to what he knows worked for him all season, it should be okay.
So if the Ducks score 30 points, do they win this football game?
I think there's more to it than that.
Only 30, or do like 5 scores?
I think they win this
30.
football game if EZW score less than 30.
Yes, of course. But
Thank you, Jim.
Well,
But if
there's more to it.
But look,
than
if
that,
I say they
though.
score 15, they're not going to win the football game. But
15?
if I say, they score 15, 16 points, that's not going to be enough.
I don't know if it's a 15-point game for Ducks, like and EZW are stalling. If they only put up 12, that's enough.
Yeah, that's a
Bad
weird,
snap
but
for a
you kn-
safety or a sack for a safety, converting on
Sure,
one.
but
that's a weird game.
But like ECW is like that unpredictable nuclear missile. Like they could explode at any given moment for points. We've seen it, right, in the high divisions.
I
But
feel like
can-
we're gonna see it again on Monday. There's gonna be one play where somebody on ECW is gonna catch like a 2-yard hitch, turn up the field for 40 yards, and then
Then the dam will
or even
burst
just
open.
like a fly on the outside that's just aired out
also
perfectly.
So essentially, like, would you say, guys, before we get to the next game here, that a big play by ECW can really stifle the confidence of the
Yes.
Ducks?
yes, 100%. But that's what it
would
shouldn't.
be a backbreaker.
That's what it shouldn't. Ducks should expect at least one of them to happen, and you should not let your guard down just because one happened. It's gonna happen at some point. Expect it. When it happens, don't be down on yourselves.
and use it to motivate you to do the same thing.
Yeah, because that doesn't mean you can't do it right afterwards. But there's a lot of teams that when it happens once, then you go back on offense and everybody's sort of down on themselves, and that's really where it hurts.
Okay, so let's go to the next game here. Glow Gang, the U, the number 1, number 2 seeds in the E1 playoffs. Not much surprise because both teams were definitely a cut above the average of what E1 had presented for the playoff picture. So we look at these two teams right now. Glow Gang, young, energetic, very confident. They believe they can walk onto the field and win before the first coin toss happens.
It's just 2.0.
Yeah,
Gang?
pretty much. The U, very, how could I say, covert, but underneath the radar. No one talks about them. Ugly football that they play, but yet effective. What gives in this football game for whichever side can win? Will it be the confidence, or will it be the under the radar that can win in this matchup?
I think that the U has that style of offense and that attitude to really take Logan by surprise. That if Evan Frank plays the way he's been playing all season, he plays smart, doesn't turn the ball over much. He's able to frustrate them with these small plays that shouldn't be working, but it doesn't look like football, and it's frustrating for football players. I think that could really work against the grain for Clogang. But the ability of Clogang for like guys at Arnaud Desjardins to just open up a game with crazy football plays is what's really tough to play against.
I think playoff experience, Joe Cano, Kyle Pedvis, multiple championships on this team, whereas Clogang have had similar
Like
success
Cassid
in the
brothers.
league, but aside from that, I think that it's really on Joe Cano and Kyle Pedvis to lead this team and expect what would be coming in a final like
as
this.
great as Joe Cano is, would you want to disguise him on defense, keep him more inside, not exposed on the outside, where maybe a younger, athletic Clogang player can really exploit
Find the
that?
matchups.
But can Joe keep up step for step? I don't think he can. I don't think he's. I like Joe. I think he's a great player, but I don't know
Step for
if
step, no. But I think he's smart enough to know that he's not going to land up 2 yards away from
Yeah,
him.
and not everyone plays man every play.
Also true.
No, but the thing is, they might pick on his side though. Like, see, a guy like Kyle Pedvis, I think, is going to be the straw that really stirs the drink for the U if they're going to win.
Of course,
like he's
but
going to be everywhere for
But
them.
I think everybody knows that too. Like Kyle's the guy who's going to be avoided the most. They might try to pick on Joe, but knowing him, having seen him play, he's going to anticipate it. He's going to know, and he's going to be able to give a look that it's going to be deceiving for the opposing quarterback, and that's when they make mistakes. He's a good player. He knows what he's doing, and he knows his weaknesses, and that's why he's a good player, because he knows he's not fast enough to cover 25 yards of field.
Yes, Eagle.
I think the big question in this game is going to be how quickly the U adapt to what Clogang is doing on that field. Having literally just played them, there are things you can pick up on.
See, the thing is, right, I think Clogang is a high-risk, high-reward offense. And if you look at Arnaud Desjardins' stats for the regular season, he almost averaged 1 INT for every 20 passing attempts. So, in theory, if you can go 25 passing attempts, that 1 INT could happen that whole number. And so if they can get that pick for maybe 6, that could be the difference in the football game.
Yeah, and I don't expect Evan Frank to have that sort of interception, high-risk, high-reward sort of thing. He might have one of these games where there's going to be a stop based on 4th down turnover, but it won't be due to interceptions. He might finish the game with 30 points, no picks. And when the game is closer to like the end of the game, late in the second half, that's when if that interception for Arnaud Desjardins happens, it could flip the table on him.
Well, Clogang had 28 interceptions during the regular season, so they themselves are very good at pilfering the football in the air. GM, an X factor in this game, is it Kyle Pedvis or anyone else in your mind from either Clogang or from the U?
It's got to be Arnaud Desjardins.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
But he's been, again, 10 INTs during the regular season, sacked 15 times. Evan Frank, only 5 INTs in the regular season, 44 TDs to his name.
So it's lower ceiling, higher floor for Arnaud is that he's either going to have a stellar, phenomenal game, or he's going to slip up and it's going to be bad.
So the ceiling is the roof then?
The ceiling, yeah. It's going to come down to whether or not he has an all-star, a finals MVP showing in this game, or they will go home.
All right. Eagle, your thoughts? You played against Clogang. You briefly brought up if you adapt to what they show to you. What do you think the key is for Clogang to beat the U and vice versa for the U to beat the Clogang?
I think that the Clogang defense, as good as it is in the regular season, is predictable. So I think that they need to mix it up a little bit more. Kind of disguise their coverage. I think their offense is when Desjardins is on, he's unstoppable. I'm gonna tell you straight up. There's nothing you can do. But if you fluster him, if you get a rusher in his face and move him around, then there's a weakness there. So he just needs to stay composed and not make mistakes. Basically, if he's in trouble, just don't make the safe play. Don't try and be the hero.
All right, Simone. Last thoughts here before we make our picks.
It has to be a fact. A lot of guys on Clogang are playing in a jamboree the day of the finals. That's why they needed the game to be later rather than earlier. It could be a factor in the game if people just play tackle football for 2 or 3 hours before,
Yeah.
and you show up to play flag. Some guys might be tired, some guys might be sore. It could be a difference maker, or they could be all fired up and ready to go. And for an extra 44 minutes, they'll already be warmed up.
5-hour energy drink. That's what they need. All right, Eagle. It's time for the picks. Our last picks for E1, E2, and I must say that the litmus test of doing this melange of E1, E2 playoff brackets was fun, and hopefully this is the first of maybe a future concept that will be applied for Div 6 and other divisions in years to come. All right, here we go.
All right. So in our first game, which will be the E2 game, Monday 7:30. Come watch, Brothard. Easy W versus Ducks.
Easy W versus Ducks.
Go ahead, Mokan.
No, I'm the last one here.
Why?
I'll let you guys make the picks first, and I'll go last.
Me first, then I guess.
Yes.
Easy W in this one.
How many points?
31-19.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going easy W, but in the closer, like 5-point different game, like 27-22.
I got Easy W winning this game. No 5 plays. They win this game 41-20.
Oh, no 5 plays.
No 5 plays. Eagle, who you have?
It's tough spread.
41-20. Wow.
Yeah.
I got Easy W by
That's a great scoreline.
33-19. 33-19.
Okay.
So everybody picked easy.
And Reed, I think P's going to have his article out, right, supposedly.
Apparently.
Yeah, so read P's
I
article.
don't want to say too much. If
Yeah,
you want to
yeah,
know,
yeah.
read my article.
Remarkable.
I will
to
say
be
this,
honest.
and he'll go on a 10-minute tangent. By the way, I want to bring something up before we go off air. Eagle, can you go on Facebook, please, before we go off air? Peasy's wall. He has a picture of him and his fiancée.
Yeah.
I need you to put it on the screen for us, please.
Why?
I want you guys to see this picture of Peasy
Which
and,
one?
and his fiancée. He just posted up today.
He's been posting
In the
like
meantime,
20.
I'll use this as a transition to say that we have a write-in.
Oh yes. Here we go.
Duke is asking who's excited to anyone excited to see Lamar Jackson tonight. I kind of am. It's an indication of how Baltimore is taking that team because not only do they have Lamar Jackson, they have RG3, who is a similar kind of player. So it would make sense to see them kind of duke it out for who's going to take over that team, but they still have a fallback of a similar type player if one of them gets injured.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna have the picture come up now from Eagle here. Oh, guys, I want your reaction when you see that picture of Peasy. Does he look like a jock football player? He looks like a guy who plays for like Georgia State University, some like Division III school team.
What, he's a bit old for that.
I know, but I'm saying that's how he looks.
Yeah,
like.
he looks like. Well, first of all, he looks like he's in better shape than he actually is.
Yeah, he is in great shape, Peasy. But he looks like that D lineman, that good old boy, 5-tech player over there, you know? Anyway, so Peasy's article will come out on, I believe, on Saturdays, well before the Monday
Yeah,
finals.
it should be, yeah. Or maybe tonight.
Yeah, perhaps tonight if he's not drunk.
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
So the 9:50 game, also Monday, Division E1.
Oh, we have another write-in.
From who?
This is a name I haven't seen in years. I will say who said it. I will say what was said, and you have to guess who said it.
Okay.
Okay.
Dip.
Oh, what's his face there? The guy said dip.
The guy who said, good job, Mo. It's Ara.
Oh, yes.
Ara, do you think that Sam Bradford will make it more than 2 games before he's killed by the Rams?
For those who don't know, Ada Ekmajana, who is a chef, by the way, check out his stuff. Very good food he makes, from what I was told. He's a diehard Arizona fan, as he likes to call it.
Feel bad for him.
And yeah, well, no, he's been a fan before they had their run to the Super Bowl back in 2009. I recall that. To answer your question, I think Josh Rosen will be starting by week 5.
Ooh.
Week 5.
So Glow Gang versus the U.
Yes.
Make your picks.
Go ahead, boys.
Go gang.
Give me the U. And
Well, how much? How much?
You want to start, Jim? Scoreline?
No.
Oh.
26-24.
I'm taking the U 33 to like 27.
Really?
A 1-score game. That one late INT by Glow Gang. The U capitalized, and that's it.
Not often Glow Gang was held to less than 30 points in a football game. Only 3 times, pardon me. Give me the U to win this game 29-26.
Hey, that's
it'd be a
that's
close
cool.
one.
Yeah,
here.
your boys through and through.
Before we sign off here, E1, E2 playoffs, PZ will be on the call. Simon Daggio, you're on the call.
Yeah,
And Stefano Berardi will be on the call. I'll be in the sidelines doing camera work. That'll
be
the
somewhere.
highlights.
You'll
I'll
be
be somewhere. Planning the menu at Dunn's, actually.
Jem's gonna be on the field and warming up, and
Yes.
or celebrating.
Yes. So I'll be in between games, before and after. Big thank you to all of our viewers who watched this, listened to this podcast throughout the course of the season. I know we've made people happy and then made people upset about what we conversed about, but it's E1, E2, and we hope for those who do come back, best of luck, and we'll see you guys for the Fall Cup. By the way, not Monday, Labor Day, it's September 4th, Tuesday, that the Fall Cup begins, so registration is open.
It's the next day.
I'm not leaving my fantasy draft for this.
I said September 4th.
Magic words,
Who are you looking
please.
to draft?
I can't tell you. Magic words, please.
Who are you looking to draft?
Can't tell you. There are
Good night,
those who are-
FPF Nation.
Good luck to the E1, E2 playoff teams.
Good luck,
We'll
all
see
4
you.
teams.
And good night to Supply and Command.
Brent isn't listening to this. You can tell us who you're looking to pick in later rounds.